This video is all about how to build handles for mugs and other ceramic items by hand. Building mug handles by hand is one of my favorite ways to build mug handles because you have a lot of options and ways that you can attach and get a lot of really fun and different forms with your handles. The first handle I'm going to show is a coil built handle. Now, a coil built handle is exactly how it sounds. You are rolling a coil by hand to create your handle. The first thing you'll need to consider when you're rolling a coil by hand is going to be the size and shape of the mug. So you're going to have to look and see what size and shape coil would be proportional. I'm using all of my proper coil rolling techniques, and I'm rolling a little bit bigger than I need so that I can cut it down. You can always trim your mug handle to be less, but you can't add on to it after if you cut it too short. You can also leave it a little bit thicker because you can always roll it thinner, but you can't make it thick again. Once you have a nice even coil rolled, you're going to set it onto a cup, and that is going to help it hold its shape for a while until it's a little more firm and ready to be attached to the piece itself. The next handle I'm going to show is an altered coil handle. Now, the altered coil handle starts out as a coil, so you can roll your coil as you would if you were just making a coiled handle. But then with the altered coil handle, you can tap it on the table to get a flat inside of the handle. So one side will be curved and the other side will be flat. And you can get that just by tapping one side of that handle on the table. Sometimes it is a little more comfortable to hold if the inside of the mug handle is more flat and less rounded. If you want the texture of a extruded handle, but you don't have an extruder, you can create the extruded effect by hand even without the extruder, like you see in this image here. This is an example of the extruded handle for comparison. To get this effect, you can use a clean, perfectly round pencil. Make sure that it doesn't have any clay or imperfections on it. And then you can go ahead and roll that pencil into your coil. This will create a nice and rounded indent. You can do this as many times as you want. I'm going to do it twice so that there's a middle bump and then two bumps on the right hand side. And I'm just very slowly rolling that pencil in and indenting the handle. It's still going to look hand built and probably won't be perfectly aligned and round and proportional like the extruded handle, but that is a look that you can actually go for. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. Once you're done, go ahead and smooth out your handle. You've got these nice little bumps on it. That's going to create a comfortable texture to hold on to. You're going to trim the handle, and then you're going to put it on the cup to harden a little bit so that it starts to hold its own shape before trying to attach it. The next handle I'm going to show is a slab built handle. So the second and the fourth in this picture are the slab built handles. The handle in this picture as well as the next one are also made using a slab that I cut into a scalloped shape. To create my slab built mug, I can roll it with a rolling pin or a dowel or even the slab roller. I'm going to take my thick coil and I'm just going to roll both sides. I'm going to leave the handle a little bit thicker because I'm going to need that thickness for strength, and I can always thin it out, but I can't make it thick again. Once I have my slab as thick as I want, I'm going to draw the shape of the handle. In this case, I'm creating a scalloped shape, and I'm going to cut out that full shape from my slab of clay. Once the shape is fully cut out, that really sharp edge on all of those sides is not going to be comfortable to hang on to. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go through and soften all of the edges and round out all of the sharp edges so that it's comfortable to hold on to. The next handle I'm going to show is a twisted coil handle. It's made using two coils that are twisted together, as you can see on the handle on the left-hand side of this image. To create a twisted coil handle, you're going to start by slipping and scoring and attaching two same sized coils together. You're going to do that at the top, and then you're going to start very gently twisting those two coils together. You want to make sure that they lay nice and flat each time you twist, and then occasionally you're going to need to slip and score these coils together so that they don't separate once you have them attached to your mug. Once the twisting is all done at the very bottom, you're going to slip and score the final parts of the coil together so that they stay attached at the very bottom. If you need to trim this more, you're going to have to trim it and then re-slip and score wherever the bottom ends up being. Once you're done with the handle, you will drape it over a cup so that it holds its own form. The last handle in this demo is going to be a pinched handle, so it's the third one in this image. Pinched handles give a lot more of a handmade feel, so this is a mug with a pinched handle, and this is what it looks like glazed. You're going to be able to get a lot more texture with your pinched handle, and you're also going to be able to get a super organic form with it as well. To start my pinched handle, I actually start using a coil. So I roll out a coil. That's going to help me get the proportions right in my pinched handle. Once I have the thickness and the length I'm looking for in my handle, I'm going to actually start to put that pinch texture into my handle. Now, the pinching of that texture is going to flatten the handle out a little bit, and it's also going to give it a really interesting texture and a very comfortable hold in your entire handle. And then just like the rest of the handles, once you're all finished, you're going to wrap it over a cup to dry.